Welcome to our TechSphere podcast. We're doing a deep dive today into OpenAI's SearchGPT prototype.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
It could really change how we search for information online.
Yeah.
Imagine, instead of going through tons of links, just getting direct answers
So you're telling me
to your questions.
I could dish all those tabs?
Yeah, and it's all powered by AI using like the most up-to-date info from the web.
It's huge. So many tabs.
Yeah, potentially, but like,
Always.
let's break down how it works.
Okay.
It's more than just magic.
Yeah.
SearchGPT uses these things called large language models,
Okay.
which is like a type of AI that's really good at understanding and like making text that sounds like a person wrote it.
Okay.
And these models are trained on just massive amounts of data.
Okay.
So they can process information and answer questions.
Like a person.
Yeah, kind of like you're talking to a person.
So it's like I have super smart research assistant
yeah,
who can like understand my questions and just pull up the exact information I need.
that's the idea. But SearchGPT can access real-time web data.
Ooh.
It's not limited to just a database.
Okay, so what does that mean, real-time web data? Is that different from like regular search engines?
Yeah, it is a big difference.
Okay.
So like traditional search engines, they use indexing,
Okay.
which is basically they crawl through websites and store information in their databases.
Okay.
And that takes time. So the information you get might not be totally up to date.
Okay, so SearchGPT just bypasses all that.
Yeah, it accesses and processes information directly from the live web.
That's really cool, but I have to admit,
So you always get the newest data?
I'm a little scared.
Yeah.
What about like, is the information accurate?
That's a good question.
And what about like content creators?
Yeah.
Won't this hurt websites and blogs
Yeah.
if people aren't clicking through to them?
Those are really important concerns. And it seems like OpenAI is trying to address those.
Okay.
One of their big focuses is working with publishers. They want to make like a publisher ecosystem.
Oh, cool.
So it benefits both the users searching for information and the people making the information.
So it's not about like getting rid of websites and blogs, but working with them.
Exactly. OpenAI is really focused on making sure everyone knows where the information comes from.
Okay.
So like search results will clearly show links back to the original sources.
Okay.
And they also want to drive traffic to publishers' websites.
Okay. That makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, so people can see the whole context.
So how does this collaboration work? Do publishers have any say in like how their content looks on SearchGPT?
They do.
Oh.
OpenAI has given publishers control over how their content looks in the results.
That's cool.
They can even choose to not have their content used or like say how they want it to look.
Okay, so it's all about like transparency and working together.
Exactly.
It's good to hear. It seems like OpenAI is being really careful,
Yeah.
which is a good sign. But tell me more about this conversational search. What does that mean for users?
So you can talk to SearchGPT more naturally, like you're talking to another person. Like imagine you're researching a new recipe.
Okay.
You can just ask, what's the best recipe for chocolate chip cookies?
Okay.
And then based on that, you could be like, can I use brown sugar instead of white sugar? Or what's the best temperature to bake them at?
Okay.
Each question builds on the one before it.
So it remembers what I asked before.
Yeah, it's like a natural conversation.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like having a back and forth with a smart expert
Yeah.
who remembers everything you've asked.
Yeah.
This could totally change how we learn about things.
It could, and that's where things get even more interesting when we start talking about future integrations with ChatGPT.
Okay, you've got me hooked. Let's dive into that next.
Imagine having all the conversational stuff that ChatGPT can do, but with real-time information from the web.
Okay, now that's just crazy. So we're talking about a chatbot that can like hold a conversation and access everything on the internet at the same time.
Exactly. It could like totally change how we interact with information.
Yeah.
Imagine asking like a really complex question about,
I don't know.
like the effects of climate change on the economy.
Okay.
Instead of reading all these research papers,
Yeah.
you could ask this system and it would give you a clear answer,
Okay.
backed by like the most up-to-date data.
So it's not just summarizing what's already out there, but like putting it all together and explaining it clearly.
Exactly.
That's wild. And could it do more than just answer questions?
Yeah, definitely.
You could use it for brainstorming or problem solving or even like creative writing.
Whoa.
It could be like a partner helping you explore new ideas.
This sounds like sci-fi, but what about like in real life?
Yeah.
How could this help people every day?
Think about planning a trip.
Okay.
You could ask, what's the best way to spend a week in Italy given my budget and what I like to do?
Okay.
And it could look at flight prices, hotels, events, even the weather, and make a whole plan for me.
Yeah, a personalized itinerary just for you.
No more spending hours on travel websites.
Yeah.
Sign me up. What about other stuff?
It could be great for education.
Okay.
Students could use it for tutoring or learning difficult things in a fun way.
Okay.
Or even get feedback on their writing right away.
So everyone could have access to this?
Yeah. It could make learning more engaging and effective for everyone.
It sounds like it could change almost everything.
Yeah.
But are there any downsides to something this powerful?
That's a really important point.
Like what about bias in the information?
Yeah.
Or privacy concerns? Or even people losing their jobs?
You're right. Those are all important things to think about.
Yeah.
With bias, the problem is that AI learns from data made by people.
Yeah.
And that data can have the same biases that we see in the world.
Okay.
OpenAI knows this and they're trying to fix it.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
So it's not just about the technology, but making sure we use it the right way.
Exactly. And with privacy, there are worries about how personal data is used and protected.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Transparency and user control will be super important as this technology changes.
Okay. And what about jobs?
Yeah.
If AI can do so much of what we do now, won't a lot of people be out of work?
It's a real concern. AI will probably automate some jobs.
Yeah.
But in the past, new technology has also created new jobs.
Okay.
I think it's important to help people learn new skills.
So they can do those new jobs.
Yeah, so they can adapt to this changing world.
So it's not about AI versus humans, but learning to work together.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Okay.
It's about finding the best combination of human creativity and artificial intelligence.
I like that, working together to make things better.
Exactly, we're at the beginning of something huge. It's exciting and a little scary. We need to make sure we use this technology to help people.
This is all really interesting, but I feel like we've only talked about like the tip of the iceberg.
There's so much more to explore.
Yeah, before we get too lost in the future,
Yeah.
what's important about SearchGPT right now?
I think the biggest thing is that it changes how we find and use information.
Yeah.
It's not just about typing keywords anymore.
Okay.
It's more like having a conversation.
Like talking to the internet instead of just yelling random words at it.
Yeah, exactly. And OpenAI working with publishers is really important.
So everyone benefits.
Yeah, it shows they're not just trying to break things, but make them better.
And what's the last takeaway?
SearchGPT shows that the future of search is not just about finding information,
Okay.
but understanding it, taking tons of data and making it useful.
So we can learn and make better choices.
Exactly. In a world where there's more and more information all the time.
It feels like we're on the edge of a big change, not just in how we search, but how we think and learn.
It's an exciting time.
Yeah, it really feels like we're at the start of like a whole new world. you know? Not just searching for info, but how we actually think and learn.
Yeah, for sure. It's a pretty cool time to be alive. And with all this talk about AI and the future of search, I think it's good to step back and think about what this means for like you, the listener.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Because really this is all about helping you.
Yeah, giving you the tools to figure out this crazy world of information.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine like you could instantly get the right answer to any question.
No matter how complicated.
Yeah, and having like a personal AI assistant.
That can help you learn and create new things.
That's awesome. But we got to be real too, right? What about critical thinking?
Uh-huh.
If we just rely on these AI helpers all the time, will we forget how to think for ourselves?
That's a good question. We need to think about that. It's important to use these tools to make us smarter, not replace our brains.
Yeah.
Think about it like a calculator. It can do hard math problems,
Yeah.
but you still need to know the basics.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's not about letting AI do all the thinking for us, but like helping us think better.
Right, exactly. It's about finding that balance.
Where humans and AI work together.
Exactly. Using each other's strengths.
I like that.
I like
So it's
that.
more about working together than like competing with each other.
Exactly. And I think that's something important for everyone to remember as AI becomes more part of our lives.
Yeah.
Be curious about it, but don't just believe everything it tells you.
Yeah. Question it and like make sure it's actually helping you learn.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, everyone, that's it for our deep dive on OpenAI's SearchGPT prototype. It's been awesome exploring this new tech and what it can mean for how we search in the future.
Yeah, it's always great talking about this stuff, and I hope you learned something new today.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with your friends. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep pushing the limits of what's possible.